Bill 367, expressions of the Christian Bible will now be a crime under the criminal code. Do you think that our government has anything better to do than try to suppress the freedom of expression of religious belief, no matter what that is? Like maybe affordability, our carbon tax, the drug problems we have throughout the country. I think that the liberal government needs to get their priorities in order. Let me know what you think in the comments.
I'll start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered abroad throughout the earth. Now, this is just more steps taken towards the persecution of the Lord's people that are professing their faith, declaring the truth, publishing his gospel, throughout the four corners of the earth. The Lord did say that, this gospel, this word must be preached among all people, and then shall the end come. And we must be getting that much closer if this devil now coming with these measures to try to suppress the spreading of this gospel, this word. But we know that the Lord said that his word shall not return unto him void, but it will accomplish that which he pleases. All right. You can't do nothing against the truth before it. And the labors have definitely been done. All right. It doesn't matter what you devils do, but the Lord said that these things would happen anyway. And this right here just is setting the pretense for persecution, because they already deem us, people who have a belief system that's established on, moral principles, which goes against, Western values and ideologies. They already deemed that as, radical extremism, anything that go against the status quo. All right, we're definitely living in that Orwellian dystopian time. Where, speaking the truth in a time of universal deceit is a revolutionary act. So they're going to come with more bills and legislations like this one. This is in Canada, Bill C-367. All right. And we got brothers up there in Canada. All right, you got brothers in Toronto, and I'm pretty sure in other areas in Canada. So, this it may or may not affect the ministry up there, but, either way, brothers are willing to, be bound and even willing to die for this truth. And that's what that's the attitude to have. Let me get the scripture. Let's go to Romans, the 8th chapter. Because all it is, they're showing and proving that, this word is actually true, and that what we're preaching is a threat. Because while they're, working on these kind of bills to suppress the word from going out, they're secretly behind closed doors. They're trying to pass on pedophilia as another sexual orientation to be accepted. Remember that invisible P at the end of that abominable acronym that we've been talking about for years? They're working on that. So we're living in a world where, preaching the word and proclaiming the Lord's righteousness and mercy, that's more of a threat than teachers grooming children and teaching society that being attracted to minors it should be processed as a normal thing. So the hell with this damn world, man. This world is hastily passing away. And because of that, this devil know that he have but a short time, he's going to come down with that wrath. And he does it in the form of laws, legislation, basically that speaking as a dragon spirit. All right, that's what's going down. So this is Romans 8 and verse I'll start at verse 30. And it says, moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. And all the Lord's elect, they were all predestined, all right, to follow him, to return to him in faith and sincerity, all right, and to, basically devote their lives, even to the point of, being persecuted, being imprisoned, or even put to death. But those are the souls that of the Lord that he justified from the beginning. Okay. So even if this devil tries to accuse us, like it tells you in Revelation, the accuser of the brethren, in the Lord's eyes, you're justified. When they gave the Lord up to be crucified, the Romans saw no fault in him, but it was Jake that gave him over. But Yahawashi, he was just. So that blood was upon, it fell upon Jake. So it says, verse 31, it says, what shall we then say to these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of the Most High's elect? It is the Most High that justifieth. And that's who we put our lives into his hands. He's going to be the one to justify us in the end. All right. We just got to remain steadfast no matter what. It says, who is he that condemneth? It is Yahawashi that died, yea, rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of the Most High, who also maketh intercession for us. So we got to remember also that the Lord, he sits on the right hand of glory, which is the ultimate, honor of authority, all right, that the Lord gave to his only begotten son. He's basically putting in the word, the good word on behalf of his chosen. Like when he made that prayer before his capture, he prayed that his men be kept from evil, because he knew that we was going to have to endure the tribulation. So at least during that tribulation that we're to be preserved, through the evil. So he makes intercession on our behalf. All right. So, that's comforting. It says, who shall separate us from the love of Hamashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution? And, that particular bill in Canada, which I'm sure is going to, set the pretense, all right, where, other governments are going to adopt that same form of legislation, because they want to crack down on, conservatism, Bible principles, morals, because we know it goes against what the elites are trying to push in the earth. All right. It goes against that whole liberal demonic spirit that's in the earth. That's increasing more perverseness, debauchery in the world. So they're going to persecute you. All right. And the Lord, he said that these things would happen. Blessed are you when men shall revile you, shall separate you from their company, say all manner of evil falsely for my name's sake. These are the things that's going to happen. Some of you shall be, scourged in the place of worship. You know, you're going to be locked up. Some of you, they shall put to death. You know, those are all just warnings, admonition, because that's what comes with this. And we're not to be moved by it. Let me get Philippians. It is Philippians. I'll start at verse 27. Philippians 1 and 27. It says, only let your conversation, meaning your behavior, be as it becometh the gospel of a Mashiach. Because that way, you know, when the adversary try to come down, they really don't have a good reason, you know, because your behavior is of the gospel. All right. You're at peace, you know, with all men, you know, if it's possible. All right. You blessing those who curse you. You know, basically the things that Yahawashi taught. You know, being teachers. You know, we're out there teaching. We're just pushing the word. You know, we just men with Bibles, and we thoroughly, firmly believe everything written in it, and we're just professing it publicly. That's all they can find on us. You know, when Paul said, you know, let not any follower of Yahawashi, basically you don't want to be buffeted for being a thief, a murderer, you know, a busybody in other people's matters. You know, you don't want to suffer as any of those things, because then, you know, you actually are guilty. So, you know, we have to make sure that our behavior, our conversation is honest among these people, so that they don't really have no evil thing to say about us. All right. We're not doing anything giving offense, you know, that the ministry be not blamed. We got to be blameless, because, you know, we walk on eggshells, we behind enemy lines, and we're definitely being watched. Right. So they're going to, you know, come down on us anyway, but at least, you know, when they do, we're blameless and we're going to be justified. All right. It says that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that you stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel. And that's what we do. You know, we fight that good fight of faith. We're contending for the faith of the good news. All right, that we're going to be redeemed up out of here, man. The Lord's going to come back and he's going to redeem us from out of the hand of our enemies. All right. Some of us that die in the Lord, we're going to be raised first. We're going to rule over all oppressors. The Lord's going to take the kingdom. We're going to rule. We're going to have an everlasting dominion. These are all bits and pieces of the faith. This is what we believe. And the higher of the powers that be, that's a threat to them. Because we basically believing that their government is going to be brought down by our king, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. All right. So this is considered, you know, a radical belief system. It's extreme on to them. Now, they don't consider what the current Zionist regime is doing in Palestine right now. They don't consider that to be extreme, but they support that. They've been aiding them, giving them firepower to do what they're doing, but that ain't considered extreme. You see, it says, and in nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition, but to you of salvation, and that of the Most High. Okay, so basically, we're not to be terrified by our adversaries, because that is just an evident token of their destruction. And Esau, he's the son of perdition. He's going to go into perdition. All right. Let me see. Let me see what this say in the NLT. NIV, it says, without being frightened in any way by those who oppose you. This is a sign to them that they will be destroyed. You will be saved, and that by the Most High. Yep, and this devil, he's going to be destroyed. He's going to go out in a blaze of thermonuclear fire, man. NLT, it says, don't be intimidated in any way by your enemies, even if they passing these laws against us. Don't be intimidated by it, because that's just a sign that they know that they finna go down. That's why they trying to suppress and stop the flow of the word going out, which you can't do. You know, if this be of men, it'll come to naught. But if it be the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. It says, this will be a sign to them that they are going to be destroyed, but that you are going to be saved even by the Most High himself. Okay. So, you know, we're not to be moved by it. All right. And it just ultimately mean that pretty soon the famine of the world will come as well. You know, when the Lord, you know, stops the mouth of his prophets, that means that he's ultimately stopping his word from going out. And that's going to be bad for everybody, including the 2/3 of our own people, you know, who came against it or who didn't take it serious, who didn't listen. There's Amos 8:11. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So our people are going to be devastated that they can't get any answers, you know, because the Lord's going to, you know, bind up the testimony and seal the law among his disciples. And they're going to be the elect are going to be the only ones with the word sealed into them. And that's going to be their stability in that time. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. All right. So we welcome this. All right. And the scriptures already said that you would do it. But woe unto you when you do these things. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. See that? Let me get that in the NLT. And it says, what sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws. They deprive the poor of justice and deny the rights of the needy among my people. They prey on widows and take advantage of orphans. You know, they want to make it to where, you know, we're powerless, you know, to be able to, you know, do things on our own. They want to take control over everything. They want to make it to where you have no rights. And, you know, the government is your power. They the ones that control what, you know, what you may say, what you can't say. You know, we're coming into that time of, you know, totalitarianism where, you know, you're going to have thought police, you're going to have AI, you know, tracking down, you know, certain words and speeches, you know, for so-called hate speech. And you're not going to be allowed to, you know, put any certain content up. And then, you know, when they come with their Hegelian dialectic, you know, and they might shut the internet down. They might shut everything down, and then everything will be back up, but it's going to be regulated. More regulations, more restrictions. And then there's going to be a point in time when, you know, you're not going to be able to be unanimous on the internet. you're going to have some type of identification to even have the privilege to post online. And then even that, whatever you post online is going to be closely watched and monitored. So this is a prison world that they're building, while they're telling you that they're crafting a beneficial future for you, a sustainable future. But it ain't in your interest, is in their interest. So this is what we got to deal with. Let me get Psalms 94 and 20. And let me get it in the, let me see. Psalms 94 and 20 in the NIV, it says, can a corrupt throne be allied with you? A throne that brings on misery by its decrees? And, the sellouts, if they're doing business with this devil, they got all type of paperwork signed with them. That they're going to have to water it. Like a lot of their doctrines is already being watered down. They have to make their doctrines more world friendly and acceptable, in order to, keep those, contracts legit with the state. But they would have to even water down their doctrine even more, just to comply, with their new laws and legislation, or else the decrees work completely against you. You can't say what you with the Lord and command you to speak. You will literally have to water down the word, man. And the Lord said, who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? This word shall not depart out of our mouths. It like we're supposed to keep this word in our mouths, and our seed and our seed forever. And when we speak it and we renounce all this wickedness in this world, we make ourselves a prey. Isaiah 59 and 15. It says, can a corrupt throne be allied with you, a throne that brings on misery by its decrees? The wicked band together against the righteous and condemn the innocent to death. And this is, when they have those councils, they trying to figure out ways to set snares, for the righteous. They shoot at them. Let me go to that. Because this ain't nothing but it's an unrighteous law, man. Psalms 64. Psalm 64 and 1. And I'm still in the NIV. It says, hear me, my power, as I voice my complaint. Protect my life from the threat of the enemy. Hide me from the conspiracy of the wicked, from the plots of evildoers. And that's the whole globalist wicked elite. Okay. And all these puppets that works as representation for them, like the Justin Trudeau, or like the Biden. He's another puppet for them. Trump is too. He's just controlled opposition. But they all work in tangent, to suppress the children of Israel from rising. All right. It says they sharpen their tongues like swords and aim cruel words like deadly arrows. They shoot from ambush at the innocent. They shoot suddenly without fear. So everything is aimed at us, towards us. All right. And, they do it to make us an offender for a word that we cannot reprove. Isaiah 29 and 20. And it says, for the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. You know, so, they want to make you an offender just for a word. And it tells you that in Psalms, the 56th chapter, that hey, they rest our words. They lie in wait for our souls. So they're waiting for any little thing to come out of our mouth that they may use it against us. So that's why we got to be salty with our words when we preach this word. We can't really, in these times, we can't afford to, speak our own words. And then, you got YouTube and social media where, they got sensors where it basically, reads your voice, and it pretty much like brings subtitles. And sometimes they can actually change the subtitles into words that you're not even speaking. And they can even use that against us at some point. And can't be surprised if they, come down on us and try to make it seem as if, we've been making threats and, we've been saying that we're going to do this and we're going to do that when we never said it. Just got to be ready for that. All right. And they'll lock brothers up. But if these things are to happen, just know that, hey, it was supposed to happen. All right. Revelation 2:10 says that the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried 10 days, but be faithful unto death, and the Lord shall give thee the crown of life. So we're not concerned, what these devils are going to do. We're just rejoicing at the fact that they're proving that we're right, because the word is true. Or else they wouldn't have to go this extra mile to persecute us. And they're starting with the Christians because, well, really, you think about it, this whole land got its start on Christian extremism. All right. The so-called natives, the people that were already here, they were terrorized by Christians, Edomite European Christians. Now, all of a sudden, that the word is going forward and the true people of the Lord are waking up through the word. Now you want to throw this out there. You don't want us to profess our beliefs, because you see that, Israel is still awakening. They're still rising, and we're being gathered by the word, because the Lord is putting his breath back into us, and we're standing upon our feet. And great fear is coming upon all these nations, because they're seeing our rising. So all they can do is really smear it and bring false accusation. When the time comes, use some of these agent provocateur, demons that are set up as spies to infiltrate. It doesn't matter what you do. All your devices, it ain't gonna work. Okay, you intended an evil device against us, but it's gonna be to no avail. So this is what we got to deal with, man. All right. And I'm just because I'm pretty sure other brothers have done lessons on it already, and I'm just giving my 2 cents. And hey, there's nothing new under the sun anyway, because we got persecuted for just even professing that we were Jews during the time of the Hellenist period. Under Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth, he made it to where we was caught reading the law, we would get put to death, and we was caught getting circumcised. We couldn't even perform our law. We had to die to not eat swine back then. They was burning up the books of the law. They was trying to basically outlaw the word from being lived. They didn't want us to live out of every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. But that is not going to work this time. You had was it Claudius Caesar? He banished all the Israelites that was out there preaching the gospel in Rome. He had them banished out of Rome. So, we was being persecuted back then because we was making a lot of noise. This word then went out literally throughout the whole earth. So, hey, really, this ministry is successful. When they got to pass these kind of laws, that mean that this ministry is successful, man. Is doing what it was purposed to do. And now this devil can bring it on now. All right, and we waiting because the moment you make your move, the Lord gonna make his. Isaiah 59 and 19. And it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. And yeah, the Lord's gonna, he's gonna lift up that standard, and he's gonna make you devils real fearful. That you're gonna think like, man, we should have never came after these people, man. Look what we just awoken Halalyam. And you're gonna start to see it, man. And the Lord's gonna remind you devils that you're just men. You're not the Most High. You're not God on earth. All right, you're gonna be punished for all this evil and for all your tyranny. Isaiah 13. And was it 11? Yep, Isaiah 13 and 11, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. When you look up that word terrible, the word is Arayatiza, and it says fearful, i.e. powerful or tyrannical, mighty oppressor, all right, and great power. And these, these prime ministers and presidents, they're really set in place to do the tyrannical bidding of the elite. Okay, passing all these legislation to keep the people oppressed. So the Lord's gonna lay you down, man. He's gonna lay you low. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna end it right there. And the Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm gonna give all praise to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. And until the next lesson, Shalom.